You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Glass House After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Glass House After Show.
Hello and welcome, Bingers, for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz recap for the ABC's The Glass House. I'm your host, Bamm Ericsen.
I'm Thaddeus Massey.
I'm Justin Walter.
What's up, everybody? I'm Derrial Christon.
And so we have a great show in store for you guys. If you're listening, please tweet us at AfterBuzz TV, or you guys can call in at 424-256-1729. So we have a lot that we want to talk about. The first thing is we have Ashley went home.
Shocker.
I'm upset about that.
Bum, bum, bum.
No, I mean, last week when we were talking about our predictions, I know I was very stern in saying Ashley is 100% going home, and I am not shocked at all because, again, we have this whole thing of the captains being the lowest vote getters going into limbo. Every week so far, the captain has gone home, so it's not shocking at all that Ashley went home. I know you guys did predict that she was gonna stay.
No,
so
I went
how
on
are
a
you?
limb. We went on a limb.
So talk about that limb. Are you shocked?
That limb
I'm
broke.
verklempt.
I'm upset. Like I was saying last week, I started to feel like we were getting to know Ashley's personality. So, I thought she was cool. So I was upset that she left. I mean, Kevin, I was on the fence about him, but, I want Ashley to stay around for a little bit.
Well, I mean...
Go Team Ashley.
Yeah, I really wanted her to stay and Kevin to go, but it didn't go our way. Unfortunately, the fans voted, and so, no, but we're not shocked.
Not shocked. Not shocked.
We shouldn't be.
We're not shocked, but moving right along, there was a lot of cat fights today.
Yeah.
It was.
There was a lot of fights, and so there was Holly versus the girls.
Yeah,
Yes.
because she's pretty.
Because she's pretty.
Yes.
Too pretty.
Don't hate her because she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, and part of it too was how she was making the accusation that not that she's pretty, but that people are jealous of
They
her.
hate on
She's
her.
been facing this her whole life, that girls are always jealous of her, and that's why she doesn't have any friends. She did say that. And then also we saw that she was giving some advice: work out, eat healthy, and you could look good.
But but also the women in the house were making comments like, "Oh, she's pretty. She thinks she's this." So she has a valid point. I mean, I have that same problem. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all hate on you, man.
I would agree.
I couldn't even keep.
We
a
all
straight
hate
face
you,
with
and we're
that.
jealous of you.
We want you off the Glass House AfterBuzz recap show.
I'm out. No, I'm just...
But Joy was very stern in terms of saying, Holly, we are not jealous of you. And I kind of side and believe Joy. I think that, yes, Holly's pretty, but I don't see those girls being jealous of her. I don't see those girls in the house hating her because of her looks. I think it's more of a personality issue than looks.
Definitely.
I would agree. I would say that it probably stems back from a couple weeks ago when they really couldn't find out who she really was.
What
She
do you do
wasn't
for a
telling-
living?
Yeah, she wasn't technically telling the truth or couldn't come up with a real story. So that's probably where a lot of the hating started from. It wasn't about her looks, per se.
But seriously, no, I can understand where Holly's coming from. The girls did make those kind of comments, so I can kind of see her points. They're using. I don't think that they're necessarily jealous, but they don't like her.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the fact that she looks better than them.
She does.
Sometimes, sometimes girls get a really bad rap for looking good. And I mean, let's face it, we were Erika. I'm just saying.
I'm not an Erica fan though, so it's not even about looks. I'm not an Erica fan, and I don't like Erica with liquor tonight the way she was acting either. So it's like a double sword for me right now with her.
But speaking of a double sword, what I thought was really funny. Now going to the next cat fight. Mike was in everybody's business.
Yeah, Mike showed a different side tonight.
Right.
So then, as Joy is trying to tell, as she's trying to tell Holly, well, it's not that blah 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 blah, and then
Mike just randomly came in.
Mike just randomly came in, just like stop adding fuel to the fire and just knock it off. And I'm trying to go to sleep. I mean, he was really on one today.
Right.
He didn't look like he was drinking.
No, I think Mike might be a little sexually frustrated in the house. I think Mike needs to get
Sexually
laid.
he's like
Unnecessary roughness.
He wishes there was some unnecessary.
He might
roughness,
need to
right?
find someone
He
to
wished-
spend time in the friends room. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he might. I mean, he's been in there with Kevin, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if that counts.
Kevin is his
I don't
tight.
know if Kevin
this
has
is
that
glass
type.
of tea.
Yeah.
I think he feels like some sort of sense of entitlement because he's like the oldest in the
guy.
house.
Yeah.
So I mean, even Joy addressed that. She was like, "Don't think I'm a grown woman. Don't come talking to me like blah 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 blah." Like she had to stand up and say, I don't care if you're the oldest in the house, like you have to respect everybody. We're all here in the same boat doing the same thing. So
I think it also comes from the frustration on that side of the house, Mike's side specifically, just being really frustrated that they feel like they're backed in a corner, that they keep losing the votes in terms of America voting. And it's like now I feel like they're just grasping for straws and picking fights and doing that sort of thing just because they're really frustrated, in terms of the game. And it's coming out as fights and attacks on people. And even Holly was like, Mike, back off. You don't need to be in here picking this fight.
Right.
So it's kind of just like...
Right, because when they were in the kitchen, he went at Joy.
Yeah.
Then they're in the room, and then
he followed
Joy
her in
and
there.
then Joy and Holly are trying to have a normal conversation trying to wrap it up, and then he comes right back in and just keeps going at her. So he was on one. But what I found was really interesting is when Kevin came back, he told Kevin, what Kevin asked, what did I miss? And he was like, I've been trying to keep it sweet and simple and nice.
Right.
And we're like, dude, you're lying.
Yeah. He was on one.
Yeah.
And then he kept throwing that F-bomb.
Selective memory.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because he's older.
But it's
Jeez, ringing him tonight.
I'm a Mike hater tonight. I don't know what's going on. I'm a Mike hater. And I liked Mike before, but I'm a hater on Mike tonight. 'Cause I don't know. I just thought he was a little aggressive tonight.
He was.
Unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
He
roughness.
turned into the old
Mike.
Alex almost.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Sort of. I mean, not as aggressive as Alex, but
Right.
he was going for Joy.
Speaking of Joy, so Joy has tough skin when she's being yelled at, but 2 seconds after the whole conversation is over, she goes into her little closet or her room or the mirror and she cries.
She is a crier. Cry me a river.
Really.
Well, it is like you just mentioned, Joy, even last week, she's always at the center of these fights. It's like
She
whether
is.
Good point.
she is the one instigating it or the one responding or being reactive to the fights, Joy always seems to be a part of the fights. She seems like the common denominator, so I don't necessarily know if that's her personality or is she the one sticking up for people and that's why she's always in the fight, but Joy is the common denominator in a lot of these fights going on in the house.
Well, she seems to be a pretty sensitive person, but she also seems like she has a backbone. Like if she feels like something's unjust, she's gonna argue or she's gonna stand up for it. But I think it really gets to her because she's a sensitive girl. At the end of the day, she's gonna fight for whatever she feels is right. But that doesn't mean she's not gonna go back and cry like we see her crying.
Right.
There's a lot of tough cookies out there. We don't see them going home and crying over whatever they're fighting over or whatever. They just appear that way.
Right.
But we just get cameras to see that. So
Well, it's interesting, kind of with what Justin said. There were a lot of tweets this last week from the players in the house that were saying that, look out, Joy has been in the middle of a lot of the problems that are taking place and a lot of the arguments. So to see it tonight, it obviously was true.
right.
Yeah.
I do like what you were saying in terms of when Joy's actually sticking up for something she believes in or sticking up for herself. I like that. But like picking dumb fights for no reason is, that sort of thing. But I do like if she's annoyed or frustrated, she'll speak up and notice all these fights will happen like in the kitchen or whatever, and then she'll always follow. I didn't want to leave it at that. Let's talk about it. And then it just turns into another fight.
Right.
But
I do think most of Joy's confrontations, arguments that she has, I think she loses. She lost last week with the whole issue with her and Mike had about why she was with Gene.
Yeah.
I think she totally lost that one, and I think she lost 60-40.
tonight in terms of the whole Holly looks thing.
Yeah, I think she lost. This is my opinion.
I totally disagree. I just don't believe that those girls are jealous of Holly.
I don't either.
I think it's totally a personality.
Right,
if Holly had the personality of someone who everyone loved, and it was like they gravitate towards her and they love her, and she's this amazing girl who's smart and intelligent and sweet and funny and nice, and also has a great body and looks good, then I think there might be jealousy issues.
Right.
They don't like Holly as a person,
Yeah.
so I don't think they're jealous at all. Yeah, they might at certain points, but yeah, she's got a great body, but that's not why they don't like her, and that's why they're not picking on her. They're picking on her because they don't like her.
And Joy's a model too, right? I mean,
she's a
Playboy, one of those.
Yeah, so I mean,
at one point.
So she's modeled and done that whole
Something in
thing.
there.
I mean, when she was telling Holly, like, we're not jealous of you,
Yeah.
I mean, I really believed her. It was really authentic to me. I really didn't feel like it was like, no.
You still think that they're jealous of her?
I don't necessarily think Joy is.
Oh, okay.
But I do.
You think that
Who's
Erika
better looking,
is.
Joy or Holly? Who do you think?
Holly.
Okay.
But
I agree.
But we're a bunch of men, so I don't want to make it. I don't want this to be like we're bashing the women.
Oh no, not at all.
But
We love them all
of
equally.
speaking of Joy, speaking of Joy, there was another small little fight between she and Jean.
Yeah.
So again, our girl Joy, or your girl Joy's in the middle.
She's not my girl.
I mean, Joy, that was right after the fight. He was just trying to console her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really see it as,
Can you explain what happened?
Well, basically, after the whole breakdown and fight with what was that? That was Mike and Holly.
Yeah.
And Joy. So Joy was upset again as usual. She was going off to cry her crocodile tears and do that whole thing. Jean was trying to console her. He tried to stop her, and he reached for her arm, and she's like, "Don't touch me, leave me alone," kind of thing. Which
it was so dramatic.
It was super dramatic.
Yeah.
I think the cameras made it more dramatic than it really was.
No, it was dramatic. Like, touch my arm. Don't touch me. It was like very like.
And it doesn't help that Jean's like 8'9". It doesn't help that Jean's like 8'9" and she's like 5'1".
Right. I mean, he we don't see what's going on behind the scenes.
It didn't seem that dramatic to me.
It didn't seem that dramatic to me either.
How come you went to your chest when you were talking about Joy?
Wow.
No,
That's Derrial Christon.
it's honestly, in terms of their whole
Don't follow
fight,
me on Twitter.
I think she was so just like beaten down by Mike. She was arguing with Holly. Like, I understand that she didn't want to be touched and consoled by Jean at that moment.
Right.
She just wanted to get in that bathroom, want to have her alone time, want to cry.
Right.
Just, I'll talk to you later, and you can touch me later, which she allowed to happen.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Right. Which now Joy, I agree. Joy she didn't want to be bothered. She didn't want to be touched. I totally get it, but I just thought it was funny how she did the
dramatic.
It was
That's
super
a
dramatic.
typical girl thing. Like
it is.
Girls or when they get upset, sometimes they might want to respond that way. They don't want to be touched. Like, leave me alone right now. And it's not necessarily a girl thing, but some people just don't want to be bothered after they're upset. Don't touch me. Don't try to console me or anything. Maybe go shopping. And speaking of shopping, next time you want to go shopping online. You want to go to Amazon.com, go to AfterBuzzTV.com instead. Go to the top of the page, click the banner. AfterBuzz TV gets a kickback at no extra expense to you guys. It's just a way of supporting us so we can keep doing these after shows for you guys over here at AfterBuzz. Thank you. We appreciate that. Again, that's AfterBuzzTV.com. Click the banner at the top of the page and then go shopping.
Interesting. Another fight, and we're still talking about fights here. I thought was interesting was drunk Erika versus kind of Andrea in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
So Andrea, just saying, I wanted to console Holly. I wanted to console Joy, and I'm torn in this house between my motherly instincts of wanting to console people when they're down and out, and then Erika clearly drunk with her glasses on, being like, I like you. I don't trust you. You know,
Right.
it was just kind of. I thought that was kind of tasteless and just kind of like. I don't
But
know.
that's consistent with her.
It goes back to my feelings.
We got a lot of Erika haters in this room.
It's Erika hater night, I guess, because it's, I mean,
I'll sign on.
She showed her colors once again.
Yeah,
she's consistent. I'll give her that. She's consistent.
Yeah, she is consistent.
She's consistent.
And that's one thing you have to respect about her. That
Right.
She's
not swaying.
keeping it real.
She is.
You know, as far as she goes, she's not pulling any punches, and she's not being fake. I mean, you got to give her respect. You got to give her love for that. You might not agree with all her decisions or how she goes about.
Right.
Well,
what
and
she says
clearly
and
a lot
does,
of those
but-
fights were instigated by alcohol. If you saw in a lot of those fights, they were all drinking. Even when Joy walked in, she walked in with a can of beer, put it down at the bed. They were drinking wine. She's in the bathroom with the beer,
Right.
all that sort of stuff. So I mean, clearly they're bored. They, you know, they're given alcohol, and it makes good TV.
And I think Andrea made a comment about that too. She was
Yeah.
in that other room when they were all drinking, and she said, "This is what happens when you drink alcohol." When they were all fighting in that next room.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Andrea.
Sometimes it does happen.
I believed Andrea that
Not from
she.
personal experience.
I believed Andrea that what she was saying, that she just wanted to be there, kind of, you know, as the mother type role, and whether it's gameplay or not, it just kind of was, you know, why tell Andrea I don't trust you? It just didn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
And speaking of roles and gameplay, and let's talk about Gene, who says that he is the middleman and that he is not a part of any alliance.
I'm on the fence about his decision with that. I mean, it's smart in one regards, but I think it might, in the end, kick him in the butt. I don't know, because I think like eventually you have to pick a side.
But I don't. It's a lie. He has picked a side for the last 2 weeks. Now make it 3. He's voted with that side. So
Right.
it's like he says, I'm not going to side with anybody. He clearly has picked a side.
Right.
But then
The
he-
last 3 weeks, he has voted with Erika and Joy and Jeffrey and
Exactly.
Stephanie. He has picked a side. No matter how much he is going to say, I'm not strategizing, I'm not picking a side, and I'll decide on a week-by-week basis. It's not true.
Right. And his whole thing of I make my decisions minutes before
It's a lie.
I go, yeah, I totally think that he's picked his side, but I think at some point he will have to admit it. And also, they confronted him about it and said, you know, hey, you know, we're not really sure where you stand. And Gene took offense to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess we're kind of just over Gene.
No, I'm not. I like
I'm not,
Gene.
because
I'm
it's
not.
kind of going to be interesting to see how things turn out with him.
Yeah.
As far as he's concerned, I mean, to me, I think his main motivation is joy. I think he came
now.
onto the game,
Yeah.
and I think he figured like, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm here. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's a hot girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just met
She's
her.
into me.
Oh my gosh, I think she might like me.
We might have a relationship afterwards.
Are we playing a game?
Right.
He did say that.
Yeah,
He said-
exactly.
he said that, yeah.
So I think his motivation and his incentive right now has nothing to do with the game, besides the fact that Joy is a part of the game.
Yeah.
And we're going to speak in regards to Joy and Gene's relationship later. So you make sure you guys stay tuned for that. What about some of the other games? What about Andrea? She's going to every person on the other.
Andrea. You do not like saying her
I
name.
said it again.
You must have had like an
Andrea.
old girlfriend named Andrea.
Andrea.
That's what I'm thinking. Or like a family member.
I'm not thinking, and we did get a comment from YouTube saying that we need to know the names, and so I'm totally guilty.
We'll stay on them.
So-
Andrea, you have to say it 5 times.
Andrea.
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 I think Andrea
Andrea.
recognizes or has recognized in the house that the side she's aligned with is sort of a sinking ship.
Yeah.
So she's thinking to herself, okay, I want to still try and win this game.
Yeah.
If I'm going to try and do that, I might need to start making alliances / just putting out the seeds that I might want to have, like working with the other side. So we saw her approaching everyone in terms of saying, hey, I don't trust Gene. You shouldn't trust Gene. Why don't we kind of work together? I like you, that sort of thing. I give her credit. I think she's got nothing to lose. I think that if she just doesn't acknowledge the fact that her alliance is sinking, then she's being stupid as a game player. So I like her move on talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in one regards, it's smart, but in the other regards, when people start realizing that you're sort of playing them, it could once again kick you in the butt.
It could
You know?
backfire.
I think it's good she recognizes that her team is sinking, but again, the other team that she's now trying to get on, they're pretty smart. They're smart enough to know that look, we're not stupid.
Yeah.
So I think she should have probably took a different approach, or just
What do you
maybe,
think her approach should have been?
I'm not really sure what her approach should have been. I think just maybe be nicer, but like she was a little hard. I mean, she was a little abrasive with it. And so if she would have just maybe had some conversation or something, just be a little bit more nice versus going and saying, oh, well, you know, I don't think Jean is, because then, of course, they've already formed alliances. It's been 3 or 4 weeks. So, of course, they're going to go back and say something. So within 2 or 3 weeks, you pretty much know who you can and cannot trust. Yeah. And so by her saying that, oh, you know, I don't think you guys should be able to trust Jean, someone's going to say something. It's a glass house, you know?
Yeah.
And plus, she's going to win America over because she pulled the crying the river card. And I always say that always keeps you in the game. Oh. Go on and just. But that always keeps you in the game. I'll do your backup.
Do that again?
No, I'm not doing it again. That was a one-time exclusive right there.
I wonder if there's going to be a point in the game where America starts voting for the underdogs, because so far we're just seeing the same people constantly in the bottom two, constantly going to limbo, and it's kind of getting too predictable.
Well, America usually votes for the underdog.
Usually
likes to see the underdog win. I just think it I don't think it's been a nail biter yet. I don't think it's nothing is really on the line. There's you know, I think maybe after the next maybe 3 weeks.
I don't like the voting.
Yeah.
I don't like the voting, how you can vote for just whoever you want to keep. It should be weekly.
You can only vote for the people in limbo.
Right.
So it's more like you're actually casting a vote to save someone.
Yes, rather than just keep voting for the same people that you like, because who's ever the most popular, they're just going to keep getting voted for. Versus if he and I are in the limbo together, it's one or the other. Who do you want?
Right.
And
Pretty
so
much.
I don't.
Do you think that the voting could possibly if that voting rule were changed, do you think it could possibly affect and change actually who stays and who goes?
Yes, I do. I do, absolutely. I think so, because say for instance, like with Robin, you know, if it was between Robin and who else last week?
Wow, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Robin and I can't even remember.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Robin and whoever she was in limbo with, if it was just between those two,
I think 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I think Robin would have stayed.
Interesting.
Oh, wasn't it Robin and Ashley? Was it Robin and Ashley? Because I feel like Ashley's always.
We're horrible.
Wait, why? Who was it? Oh, we're gonna make ourselves look bad here.
No, I can't remember because there's so many names. No,
it was Erika. Erika.
Oh, it was Erika.
It was Erika.
Yes,
it was Erika.
You're right.
So if you had to vote between the two, and then speaking of what we do remember that Jeffrey decided to go to Mike and to Kevin after Kevin came back from limbo and wanted to have this conversation. I didn't buy it from the moment that he sat down and was talking in that voice. I didn't believe it at all. I was like, okay, he's totally trying to play these dudes. Like, who do you think you are? Like Brad Pitt or Denzel? Trying to like smooth talk him? I didn't buy that at all.
I did.
You did?
You did.
And
really?
the reason why?
Well, go ahead.
The reason why is because he can easily play double agent now. If you see how the game is gonna go, it's like you never know. You never know. The game is in the kind of like in the palms of other people's hands to a certain degree. So he can make them think that he's down with them, and then say things really start going bad for his team, and he really wants his team or his side to to his alliance to win. Say things start going bad. Now he's already set it up for himself.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't believe it's simply for the fact that Jeffrey knew that Kevin didn't vote for him the week of the whole Prop 8.
You think that's the reason?
Absolutely. Why would he literally almost was like he literally wanted to disown everyone who didn't vote for him. He had an issue with Kevin because Kevin did not vote for him. That's so true. Now you're gonna go to this guy who you said you basically Jeffrey said, you know, by you voting against me, you're saying that you don't respect me. That's exactly what
I
he
think
said.
that in the house, I think people
They forget.
I think they forget.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. But I kind of popped up in my chair when that conversation went on because strategy. There's strategy going on.
Yeah.
And I got so excited. I was like, oh yeah. And I think I bought it agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Inner team. Sorry. Inner team alliances. Yes. This is great. Finally, we're getting some strategy. And then he went right away and was like, I'm just screwing with them. You know, like da, da, da.
I
I think he
flirting
can.
at first.
He can screw with them because they have nowhere to go. Like that's
Right.
like even if he says yes, I'm working with you, and even if their people are the lowest vote getters, they're only like 3 or 4 votes now. Their numbers are going down so low.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey's probably playing a little smart right now. Personally, I wasn't upset with his strategy tonight.
Yeah.
So because he can ride both fences.
He
a little
can.
bit right now.
Yeah.
So
It'll be easy for him.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait, there was no pun intended with that. Why you guys
okay,
laughing?
I was waiting for something else with that.
Oh, because I said it?
Yeah,
I
because you
said
said it.
it.
I was waiting. I was like, wait a minute.
But no, in terms of that, I think his strategy, I don't mind it. I thought it was entertaining to watch, and I think, who knows, maybe one of those guys will actually try and shake it up. I want someone to shake up this game. It's too predictable right now.
That's why I wanted Kevin to go home
It's too
this week.
predictable right now in terms of, we'll talk about predictions later, but it's becoming way too predictable.
Right.
But something that was not predictable. Let's talk about the Friends room.
That was not predictable.
That was not
predictable.
Oh, what went down?
right because we all I think we kind of said the Friends room. The fans voted for Gene and for Joy to be in the room together.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning we said, Gene, sorry, big boy, but you're not gonna get any play. We said that.
I have to look at the camera when I say this. I apologize because I said it the first episode it wasn't gonna happen, and guess what? I was wrong.
And so
They hooked up.
And so
Sort of hooked up.
well, at first Gene said, we'll cuddle, and then when it's
That's how
time
you
for me, and then when it's time for me to go to bed, I will sleep on the floor. I'm not gonna sleep in bed with you.
Yeah.
So now they are in bed together. They're talking and having little pillow talk.
Pillow talk,
yes.
very cute.
And he admits that he has a little crush. And I'm writing something down in my notes, and then from your reactions, I look up and I'm like, oh wow, the pillow is covering their heads, and they're just.
But notice who initiated it.
She did.
She did.
She did.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought
She
she
put
was
the moves
actually going
on
to
him.
Yeah, I thought she was going to
Exactly.
tease him the whole time, and nothing was really going to go down. And then all of a sudden, she made that wiener wall comment too.
Well, that came after the making out.
That came after.
yeah,
That
right
was
after
the
that.
hey, I
Right.
made out with you, but this wall's going up.
Right, right. We need a little
This is not
protection
going to
between
lead.
us. No pun intended.
This making out's not going to lead to a little bit more.
Right.
But
At least tonight.
Right.
At least
but-
tonight.
But the morning time comes,
the morning
and,
kiss.
and guess what happened? They are
Same
still
thing.
they're still in bed.
Yes.
Together.
Well, and they were
Morning
in
breath
different.
and all.
With the red blanket, how they were kissing under that red blanket.
Right,
Yeah.
they
They
were.
were made up and in different clothes, so it seems there's multiple. I don't think it was a continuous like they woke up and started kissing because she was clearly in makeup and
Right.
woke up. So it was definitely another point in the day
Right.
that they were in their room
Good
kissing,
observation.
kissing,
Yeah.
kissing.
You think it was
kissing.
editing? You think it was more? Of an
Yeah, it
editing
wasn't.
thing?
That was not after right when they woke up because she had makeup on. It was they were in different clothes. That I think I recall that.
Some women go to bed.
Hey,
with
Kim
makeup.
Kardashian goes to
You know.
bed with her makeup on. Why can't Joy do it?
Maybe Joy did. But in any case, regardless, they got multiple kisses going in. I usually find showmances on reality shows entertaining and fun. I'm kind of bored with this showmance.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone disagrees or agrees, but I think they're kind of a boring showmance to me.
And speaking
Sorry.
of that,
What do you think? They're kind of boring to me in terms of a showmance.
yeah, there's not much going on. Erika likes Kevin, and she's admitted that, so she was hesitant about voting him in.
Right.
So she's hoping to get a little more taste, although he clearly voted.
He clearly
But I think
put
she
the
likes
whipping
that.
pill on her.
Glutton for punishment.
She does seem like that.
And
Yeah.
how many times did we hear tonight? I understand why America kept Kevin. He's good to look at.
Yeah.
Oh, even though I should be mad at him, America might be looking at me as being stupid because he screwed me over. But I like him. He's
Yes.
cute. Da-da-da.
Right.
Like, whatever. There's no showmance going on there. No.
They already had their romance, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't even seem
I
like
would
Kevin's
not
giving
call
her
that
any.
a romance.
I think he
yeah.
was hoping she would go home so he wouldn't have to.
Do you have to do it again?
Yeah,
Think
guys
so?
are. It's like, no, walk of shame, go home.
Do you think there'll be any more hookups?
I mean, probably. I mean, what else are they gonna do?
Who's gonna hook up?
Those two.
Oh,
Do you mean Erika and Kevin again, or you
Yeah,
mean like other people on the show?
Erika and Kevin and any other?
I think Erika and Kevin. We
think
should
they'll
save
have
this for
another-
predictions, though. We should save this for predictions.
Gene and Joy, obviously.
Yeah. Predictions. We could talk about who we think will go home and that sort of stuff. While we're on the topic, I don't. You think they'll have another drunk makeout session?
I think so.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing else to do.
I know something that you guys can all do. You guys can go to iTunes and download all of the episodes. here at AfterBuzz, and you guys can please comment and rate. It's really important because we're all here free of charge. We're not being paid, and we're just here because we're super fans of all the shows. So guys, please go to iTunes, please rate and comment. Please keep us in the top 10 as well as some of the other shows. It's that you guys can download it. It's for free. Free. Who doesn't like to download anything that's free? It's not gonna put a virus on your computer. So you guys, please make sure you guys go to iTunes and download all of the episodes. Rate us, tell us what you think, good comments or bad comments. And also, there's a new app called Podcast. And what it does is you guys can download this application, and then all of your subscriptions that you have for the Glass House, Fallen Skies, Empire House, what else?
Anger management.
Yeah, all the different shows. The podcast puts all of the subscriptions together and organizes it. So you guys make sure you go to iTunes and you guys download the podcast. Okay?
Easy enough.
Easy enough. All right, so now let's talk about the captains. Limbo.
Well, first off, Holly was a captain, and before it happened, we all predicted and knew Holly would be a captain because clearly she's been in the bottom. It's, again, we're seeing that consistent factor of the same people are always in the bottom. So it was really a question of who's going to be in the bottom with Holly. And it was Mike.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by that, sort of.
Who'd you think it would have been?
I think at the time I thought it was going to be Erika again.
Yeah, because you don't like her.
Yeah. Seems to be a common theme tonight for me.
I thought it was going to be Joy. I thought it was going to be Holly and Joy.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Joy is the girl that everybody roots for, like
You
the
think
underdog
so?
girl. Like she's
The
cute.
mom.
She's a mom. She's
Fighting
cute.
for everyone.
Exactly. She's fighting for everybody. But then after she goes off, then she goes and cries about it.
Yeah.
So I think people like Joy.
Yeah, Joy's grown on me because I was saying even at the beginning I didn't necessarily like her because she used to cry a lot, but there's something about her. She's kind of endearing a little bit. She may be playing a game, but she's starting to grow on me. Plus, I want Gene to continue his showmance.
I do like she has personality. Like Stephanie to me is like, where is Stephanie gone on this show? I remember a couple of weeks ago you were talking about how you thought Stephanie was playing a great game.
Yeah.
She's really into Twin It.
Yeah.
She's kind of
She was
boring.
quiet. She was quiet
Like,
tonight.
Where is
was
she?
quiet
What is
tonight.
she
She was quiet
doing?
tonight.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of Joy we're seeing her because she's entertaining and she's lively and spunky and fun.
Right.
Whereas where are some of these other people? They're not even. I don't feel like we're even seeing Jeffrey anymore. There's just a lot of like quiet behind the scenes people right now.
Right.
Yeah, we kind of see the same people over and over. What do you guys think about the game?
Oh, the
I
challenge.
liked it.
challenge.
The challenge.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was cool, especially
it was a cool game.
when they were doing the little ball window breaking glass thing. I thought it would have been fun to actually participate in that
Right.
challenge
Yeah.
personally.
All right.
Yeah,
Slingshot.
Mike. Oh.
What happened over there?
Just
Medic.
Oh.
Medic.
But yeah, so Mike was a captain along with. Okay.
I don't know what just happened here.
I think he had like a cramp or something.
No, it was action.
All right, let me step
action
in.
after show.
Yeah.
That's the
So
bloopers
Mike
I was
was the
talking
other
about earlier.
captain with Holly. He had a team consisting of the entire other alliance. So they're going for that strategy again of if
Right.
Mike's team loses, they'll have to vote one of their own people in. The strategy is a great strategy. 2 weeks in a row, they're using it. However, their alliance team loses again. So someone from their alliance goes in the bottom. But Mike, they position themselves better. Mike being able to be a shooter and a slingshot shooter, whereas Andrea couldn't get the ball out of the slingshot.
Somebody said something earlier. They thought she might be throwing it a little
That
bit.
was
Who was
me.
that?
But no, she didn't.
I
think she just wasn't. I mean, she didn't necessarily.
She just wasn't
trying.
into
if it was
Right.
Stephanie
Stephanie
would've been
definitely.
throwing
That's
it.
true. That's true. But Andrea, I'm not sure. I think she was more frustrated.
I think she was just a
really,
little unathletic.
I just
Maybe
wish
so.
I just wish that we were
I
able
would
to
agree with
see
you.
how the teams were picked and who does what, because if it has to, like, you get to see the visual of how the game's gonna go. Why would they pick? I'm sorry not to disrespect women, but why would they pick her to sling something that has to go way across the other room?
I think what they probably thought as I was watching, they had Kevin being the one trying to
block.
To block.
To block.
So put your tallest person so he can
Yeah.
get the. But he was doing a terrible job
doing
at
a terrible
blocking.
job,
I don't
yeah.
think as we saw him block a lot of
Yeah.
shots. But I think the strategy may have been, hey, these slingshot things aren't probably hard to use,
Yeah.
but why don't we put our tallest person? They can block as many shots, and he's athletic too,
well,
so
Jeffrey
he
was-
should be blocking
Well, he
left
would
and
want
right.
Mike's team to win.
Jeffrey
No.
was even worse.
Maybe.
Jeffrey was
That's true.
worse.
You know what I mean? That's his boy that was on the chopping block.
If Mike's team loses, then Mike goes into limbo with someone from the other alliance. That would have been the first time in the game, besides Erika going against Robin, that someone from their alliance would have gone into limbo again, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And, maybe Stephanie was worse than Andrea, so maybe that was their only option.
All Stephanie did was toss the balls for them to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
maybe they didn't have a lot of choice on who they needed to select to do the, the slinging versus the shielding of the sling or the balls.
I think the shielding thing didn't really matter because it was a big windmill.
Yeah. Mike was killing it though.
Yeah,
Mike was killing it.
He was like 9 for 10.
He was beaming them like lasers.
Yeah, there was no way that you would have been able to say.
I wonder if they're gonna switch up the way the teams and limbo sort of thing are going on, because in a lot of these games it comes down to an individual. Like, what if they did an individual challenge where the winner got to choose one person to go into limbo and then the rest of the house voted, or something.
Right.
I wonder if there's going to be some sort of
that too.
switch where it's, okay, guys, you've been playing on teams. Now let's do individual challenges.
Right.
And then the winner, you pick one person to go into limbo and then everyone else votes the other person. I don't know. It just...
You should send
writers.
Send that in.
No, but it just kind of... Because then that gives a little power to the minority alliance. Because
No, I really like that.
not to compare it to Big Brother, but one thing about Big Brother is when you're in a minority alliance, you can still win and gain power in the game.
Right.
Where right now, if you're in a minority alliance, you have no power because it's constantly, the lowest vote getters are from... I don't know.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. And speaking of, we have good power here because what we're going to do is we're going to take a break and we're going to come back. So you guys stay tuned for more.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
All right, we're back. Before we go into news and gossip, there's one more thing that we forgot to cover: the fancers. The fancers. So what do you got? What do you guys think about some of the questions that were?
Well, first, who delivered the
Exactly. First of all, let's talk about how they decided to deliver the fancers.
Go ahead.
Alex.
Prime
We
time.
had a remix of episode 1.
Yeah.
So they went ahead and brought him back to deliver them, which it was kind of playing with my heart because I was really, really, really hoping they were bringing him back. I saw the bag there. I was like, oh my gosh, he has all his underwear and his socks in that bag.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
coming back. He's going to claim a bed. Oh my God, I was happy. I was so happy. And then it was like, womp, womp, he's delivering the fancers.
I love seeing the faces of everybody when Alex was coming up that little escalator or whatever, elevator or whatever.
Right.
And they saw the bag. People were about to...
Piss in their pants.
They were nervous. I was
yeah.
hoping that he was going to say, I'm on the show again. Hello.
Oh my
welcome me
gosh.
back.
Yeah.
That would have made my night.
But then he kind of like showed a different side tonight, though, because then he's like, oh, the fans were the ones that were making me be so mean, and this is why he explained himself.
Right.
Do you believe that?
No, because
No, because
then
now he just looks like a snitch.
when he was going down as he was saying goodbye, didn't he give him the finger or something, or did he gesture? Or something?
did
he did
I didn't see
something.
that.
He said something like a gesture, or said something that didn't seem appropriate as he was going down. So I don't believe his intention was.
One of the fancers that he gave that kind of did surprise me was the question of who does America want to stay in the game longer or / like better, Gene or Kevin? And the answer was Gene, where I was a little shocked by that because I still think that even though Kevin's in the minority alliance of the people in the game, I still feel like Kevin would have more of a vote getter, being the Midwest guy and kind of the, police officer, that whole, deal.
Right.
So I was a little shocked with Gene this week getting the fancer of
Right.
staying in the game longer. I don't know.
And then for Jeffrey's question is, would it be a jerk move to send a person into the limbo twice?
No.
And so it's no.
Definitely
Kind of
Definitely
obvious.
not. Yeah. I'm like,
I mean, how do you get rid of somebody?
And
that
Yeah,
you
like,
don't
you
wanna get
wanna
rid of?
do
was
that.
Stephanie's who should go into limbo, Sneaky Andrea or Shady
Shady
Kevin.
Kevin, right.
And it
Sneaky
was
or shady?
Sneaky.
Sneaky
Yeah.
or shady.
Sneaky, you know. That shows that fans are liking Kevin more than Andrea, but Kevin less than Gene.
One of the most interesting questions that I found interesting, and I actually voted on this, is Erika's fancer question was, Erika wants to know what reality show will we want to see her on next? Would it be...
Oh
wait.
my gosh, go ahead.
So, that was her question.
That was her
asked that?
question.
No, is
Erika.
any of the options
Erika.
none?
when you go to abc.com and you can do like votes and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the fancers questions was Erika wants to know what show will we want to see her on next. So you guys want to know what the choice was?
Yes.
Yeah. The options?
So it was Dancing with the Stars,
Negative.
Nothing,
That was one of the options? Thank God.
and No Opinion.
Wow.
What was... Oh, we didn't get the answer, did we?
So we didn't get the answer. So I think that would have been a
Who in their right mind would have that as their question?
That's a crazy
so
question.
you already
Are
know,
you kidding me?
so you already know what her motives are. Dancing with the Stars,
She's not a star.
she's not famous yet.
No.
I thought it would be non-teen mom.
I actually, you know what I was gonna say? I actually was gonna say, well, not Celebrity Apprentice, but Apprentice. I think she'd be interested on The Apprentice because they need
She's
someone.
not a celebrity.
No, but they have maybe they reinstated the
You gotta
regular
stick to
Apprentice.
ABC shows, baby.
That's right.
that's true.
I was just getting ready to say
That's
that
true.
you gotta stick with
That's
ABC.
true.
That's why she did-
Here
that's-
we go.
That's true.
The Bachelor pad. Put her on the Bachelor pad. She'd make out. She'd hook up.
How about put her to bed and go to sleep?
Oh, no, I could see
Yeah,
her
we'll
doing
stick with
well
the
on the
nothing
Bachelor
answer.
pad. However, I don't think she's gonna be doing other reality shows after this.
But yeah.
I don't. You guys don't like
I-
Erika. I don't mind her, but I don't see her. Come on, no, not other shows.
And
We'll
so-
just go with the
We'll see
nothing
her
answer.
on The View after she gets voted off.
Say what?
We'll see her on The View after
Good
she gets
morning,
voted off.
America.
And Whoopi will go, why did you sleep with that boy?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into news and gossip.
News and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right. Well, ZapToIt.com reported that the fourth week of The Glass House had 3.3 million viewers, which is pretty consistent to what they've been doing. But we also had the premiere of of Big Brother on CBS as well. So it was they're pretty neck and neck right now. I mean, they said that the viewers for Big Brother haven't been that great as far as what they expected for the premiere. So Glass House is actually maintaining its viewers pretty much. It came in second place in its time slot versus Hawaii 5-0, which is a rerun.
Yeah, and Grimm was number 3. So, what do you guys think about that? Do you think the ratings are going to get better? Do you think it's just going to stay consistent?
I think it's going to stay consistent.
Consistent.
Maybe slip even a little bit if they don't, certain things don't change, but it'll probably stay more consistent.
I'm confident, as I said a couple weeks ago, that they're going to hit 5 million viewers before the season is over.
I think they will if they switch it up, like Justin was talking about, some things that may help as far as
Get a little more
structure is
strategy.
concerned, like what they can do with the show. I think the writers can, get a little work in there as far as the structure is concerned.
I think it's pretty much done as far as the game plan and what they're going to do.
We'll see.
I don't know.
You never know. They're writing what's that
see.
movie? The Russell Crowe.
What?
Gladiator.
Oh,
They're
Gladiator.
writing that movie while they're shooting and stuff.
Well, they're not
so
writing
they
this
never-
show.
they never- They're like, we're going to use that game. No, let's change that game. Let's do this game instead.
But what about the tweet that you guys actually go ahead?
Go ahead.
Well, we have to give a special shout out to Team Ashley because they definitely gave us a lot of great information on the status of where Ashley was.
At Team Ashley.
Yeah, at
for
Team
Twitter.
Ashley for
Yeah.
Twitter. We actually got a tweet I think last Thursday that indicated that Ashley was going to be leaving the show, so we were a little upset about that. But we want to give a special shout out to Team Ashley on her Twitter for letting us know that information.
What I found interesting, because I was a little late, because you guys were tweeting, and I was like, wait a minute, the voting, I'm still voting. What are you talking about? Why is she off the show?
Yeah.
And then, of course, her team confirmed, and she's actually been tweeting or retweeting a bunch of people's tweets.
Yeah.
And so, lo and behold, she was gone. And so what I found interesting is, like, when you went online the day that they said she was gone, her name was completely X'd off. And then yesterday and today when I was online for abc.com, then her name was still on as a contestant. So there's some inconsistencies with the website and the voting, the whole voting thing, you know, so I don't know. I think that kind of sucks that we knew that she was leaving and it was, you know, it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Last Thursday.
Yeah. Well, they got 5 more weeks, so maybe they can make some adjustments.
Well, it don't matter. She ain't coming back.
No, I mean just in the structure in general.
So we have Andrea and Holly in limbo. Who do you guys think is going home? Prediction time.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I don't know what that move was.
I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb, guys, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay. Who is it?
I'm going to say
Drum roll.
100% again. I am confident that Holly will go home. In terms of like last week, Ashley going home, I just think every week the captain with the lowest votes is going to go home. Because from the time now that Holly is in limbo, what would change our mind to keep her over Andrea? There's no development. There's no nothing. We're not seeing her in limbo or anything. My prediction, clearly, is Holly going home.
I would like Andrea to go home, but I know my gut tells me it's going to be Holly. And, yeah, I'm sticking with that one.
Well, I'm not going to go out on a limb this week. You saw that last week. So this week I'm going to go with Holly as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like she's not very well received.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really like her in the house. I'm not really sure America's digging her either.
Yeah.
So, you know, Andrea
Remix.
is going to come back. And I'm 99.9% sure about that.
Oops.
Bamm, what's your prediction?
Well, I'm going to join forces
Yay.
with my AfterBuzz host, and I believe Holly's going home.
Yeah.
I mean, she's going home, and it didn't really help that she kind of went off on the girls who were not as pretty as her. So I think America is not gonna like that, and they're gonna vote for her. So bye, girl. And so with that being said, with that being said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Bamm Ericsen, also on Facebook and Instagram as well. That's BAMM ERICSEN.
You can follow me at Club Thaddeus on Twitter. Club Thaddeus. That's club, like going to the club. Thaddeus, THADDEUS.
You can follow me on Twitter at Justin F. Walter. It's not as creative as Club Thaddeus, but that is my name.
You can follow me at Derrial Christon, DERRIALCHRISTON, and same name on Facebook as well.
So thank you guys for watching. Be sure you guys watch us next week here at AfterBuzz, and you guys can always remember to catch us on on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV or www.afterbuzztv.com. Thank you guys for watching.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.